Hi guys, it's Jay again from Ayaba's Wind. I am back to do your New Year's reading for the sign of Virgo for January 2024. I know I've been gone for some time, but I am back to help you through the next couple of months. If you like what I'm doing, please like the video, definitely share, and certainly subscribe. And if you would like a private reading with me, you can email me at ayabaswind, WYND 999 at gmail.com. Just keep in mind this is a general reading, so some of the information may apply to you, all the information may apply to you, or none of it. Okay. And that's quite all right. And these energies can take place over the next several days, several weeks, or several months. Um, yeah, so let's get to it. So for the sign of Virgo, a couple of things came up. And Spirit is saying, just be very careful with being experimental and taking risks during this time, the next couple of months, only because you can expose yourself to things that could endanger and threaten, your current situation and or existence. Okay. Spirit is saying that, there's people there's someone that is trying to um awaken in you or seduce you through a succubus and or incubus. Okay, so this is a spirit that comes to you at night while you're sleeping, and it basically locks you down in the bed. You can't move, and it seduces you. Okay, it can touch you, in some cases even induce you to orgasm. Okay, and so this spirit can be sent by someone, maybe an ex, maybe someone who is fantasizing about you, and it's done so to try and to captivate you, to enslave you, to entice you. Um, Spirit is also talking about, at this time, if someone passes away, um, I'm sorry, this noise in the background. If someone passes away, yes, you mourn, you cry, yes, but the spirit is saying don't cry too much, because if you cry too much, it's that, the spirits in the spirit world that see you crying, that witness you crying, and you're crying all the time, and you're in a deeply saddened state. Spirit's going to want to take you. They're going to want to remove you from this earthly plane and take you with them, because they don't want to see you in pain and suffering. Okay. And it's not out of being malicious. It's just about them not wanting to see you cry and them wanting you to value the life that you have here on this planet. So Spirit is saying, don't cry over the dead too much. Okay. You mourn and you keep it moving. The spirits, your loved ones, are watching over you. The veil between the earthly plane and the spiritual plane is very thin. Okay. And so even though we can't see the spirits, a lot of times, some people can, they're certainly around us. Okay. Spirit is also talking about, people who you thought were your friend, um, they or friends, there's going to be a point in time where people start leaving your life. Okay, that could be friends, it could be loved ones, things of that nature. So, Spirit is saying, just get ready for this. If this hasn't already happened, it will be happening. Okay. Spirit is also talking about be careful around stairwells, going up and down the stairs, broken stairs, being in a rush. I'm hearing in Spanish prisa, like being in a rush and tripping and falling down the steps. It's quite possible. Spirit is, again, like reiterating the fact that, someone is trying to work you, but they're trying to work you in a very sexual way. And so, it's very important that you don't leave your personal effects at people's houses when you sleep over and you're intimate with them. um and make sure you collect all of your bodily fluids, and you are just very mindful of these things, because people can use it to work you, okay? And spirit is also saying, be careful of who you have in your home, because someone could have sticky fingers, okay? They might like what they see. It may be something small in your house, that you may not, take into consideration a lot. However, you'll notice at some point that it's missing. So spirit is saying just be careful with that. Um, Spirit is saying you're very spiritual, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. You can communicate with the spirits from beyond, okay? And so spirit is saying if you want to be able to, if you want to cultivate that, you got to go into meditation. You have to vibrate much higher than what you're vibrating now, which is through prayer, spiritual baths, easing off substances such as alcohol, caffeine, marijuana, drugs, and things of that nature that could induce you to error, or induce you to a lower um vibration, okay? um so if you are a masculine watching this, spirit is also saying here that just be careful of someone trying to kind of slip in between you and your significant other, and trying to allure or take away or seduce your special person away from you, okay? And also at this time, it's really important, at work, just be very cautious with how you're moving at work. Even if you've been on the job for 10 or 15 years, there may be a certain confidence like, oh, I'm not going anywhere. They're not going to say anything. They can't fire me. Spirit is saying that, your position could be somewhat threatened at this time. Okay. So Spirit is saying just, cross your T's and dot your I's. And, be very aware of that. Spirit is talking about, betrayal could be coming in for you, if it hasn't already happened. And the betrayal could happen at work, it could happen in a relationship. And so just be very mindful of that. There is, Spirit is talking about, be careful with having trysts, and affairs outside of a long-term committed relationship, because Spirit is saying that there could be pregnancy in the street. Okay, this could, cause, I'm hearing a defamation of character. People can pass judgment on you for this. So Spirit is saying, just be mindful of that. um, a side note, Spirit wants you to pay attention to your lower extremities, okay? How your legs are feeling, how your knees are feeling, how your ankles are feeling, your feet, maybe even your thighs, okay? Spirit is saying that, there could be a pain there, something that's there that isn't normally there, that's kind of like tugging at you or annoying you or concerning you. Spirit is saying that that could be as a result of some brujeria, um some sorcery, someone manipulating spiritual energies for the bad, to have an effect on you in a negative way. So spirit is talking about that. You know, at this time, if you can, make a visit to a beach, to an ocean, it'll be really good for you, okay? To do a spiritual cleaning, to throw that ocean water on your face, the back of your neck, walk through the water, just be very careful and be very respectful when you enter into the ocean. Right now there's a lot of like, um earthly things happening with the earth, okay? There's unrest, that's what I'm saying, okay? Like the tectonic plates are shifting, under the water, they're shifting underground, okay? And that's where we're getting a lot of the earthquakes, we're getting the huge waves showing up in the Pacific Ocean. All right, and so spirit is saying when you enter into the ocean, you do so humbly, say a prayer, ask for guidance and assistance from, the feminine aspect of God, the divine, that resides in the waters, and pray for help at this time. Spirit was saying that, you were born to be your royalty, basically. And so you shouldn't be in servitude to anyone, okay? Sometimes this could be a good thing or a bad thing. It's not to let things go to your head, but spirit is saying, you are royalty, you're a king and or queen. And spirit wants you to carry yourself and conduct yourself as such, okay? You're again very spiritual. You can read people, you can communicate with, the spirits of loved ones who've crossed over, and spirit is saying that they want you to do a lot of spiritual baths so you can stay clear. And only be able to connect with your spirits and your spiritual cord that are elevated, okay? At this time, I know people like to go thrifting. They go to Buffalo Exchange. I know, here in New York City, they like to go to Buffalo Exchange or Beacon's Closet. And I know a lot of other thrift stores are popping up. But Spirit is saying at this time, it's not good to borrow clothes or wear clothes that other people have worn. It doesn't matter how many times you wash it. You can put it in ammonia, all kinds of things to try and cut. These clothes have the spiritual imprint of the person that wore it before you. So Spirit is saying you don't need any additional things that are going to have an effect on your mood and how you move, okay? Spirit is also talking about there's an issue, or there could be an issue that's coming up between a father and a son, okay? An actual father and son relationship, or a relationship that kind of resembles a father and son relationship, okay? And so Spirit is making note of this. You know, Also, as it relates to this energy that's popped up, Spirit is saying that, again, like this, stepping out on a relationship, this adultery, having a side guy, a side girl, a boo, you know, look, Spirit is saying that this could end up in tragedy for you. Or it could bring even possibly death, okay? So people lose it. If they find out that you've been stepping out on them, they can, stab you, stalk you and things of that nature, okay? So you definitely don't want that on your spirit, okay? As it relates to you, and this is a part of the collective who is in studying, who does a lot of reading, especially at night. Spirit is saying that you need to like take care of your eyes. You need to be reading with a bright light, as opposed to reading in the dark, because that can cause a weakening of your sight. Okay, and Spirit is making note of this. At this time, be very careful of, eating red meat. Do so in moderation, please. Be careful of eating foods that have a lot of like artificial coloring in it because it can make you very sick. And be careful of eating meats that are rare, that are bloody, okay? Because you can pick up some kind of virus or sickness from this, and Spirit is warning of this. At this time, do not wear, ripped or holy clothing. Spirit's talking about like you were born to be royalty. So you carry yourself as such, you conduct yourself as such, okay? And so, it's very rare if any incidences in history where you see a king or queen wearing holy tattered clothing, okay, especially with holes and shredded clothing. Spirit is saying that that's not going to be good for you, okay? um Spirit is talking about deception, okay? Spirit talks about, if you try and deceive someone or create deception around someone, that deception is going to come back on you. Okay. With this energy, it's going to be like almost instant karma. Okay. And you may think you have the deal signed, sealed, and delivered, but it's going to be instant karma. So Spirit is saying, watch who you deceive, okay? Everyone walks with a spiritual court, a spiritual entourage. I always say a spiritual entourage. And so, whether they're clued in spiritually to that entourage or not, that entourage, spiritual entourage, which consists of spirit guides and ancestors, they're at attention. Okay. And so, when you try and hurt someone and deceive them, you may hurt and deceive them, but you can have a whole um gang of goons, spiritual goons, come after you for it. And so Spirit is saying at this time, it's not going to be good for you, okay? Spirit is talking about, like, if you're not already having it, you could be coming up against a lot of spiritual issues, okay? Spiritual phenomena in your life. There could be spirits that have attached to you that are affecting your mood. You could be crying and emotional, and there's no real valid explanation for that. Spirit is saying that these issues are related to, there's a spiritual imbalance, okay? And you're going to require a lot of prayers, a lot of meditation. I'm hearing people praying over you. You should definitely attend prayer meetings, and definitely try and, get a reading, a private reading on that, okay? Spirit is talking about, um, be very careful with drinking at this time. Being drinking, because drinking is going to cause you to be reckless, to say things, to do certain things that it will be out of your character, okay? um Spirit again is talking about, like, just be very careful with pregnancy. Be very careful if you're not ready to be pregnant, or if you have someone on the side that you're dealing with. There could be a pregnancy that results from this, but it could bring embarrassment, okay? And your character could be in judgment. Your reputation could be in judgment, okay? Spirit is also talking about operation. You know, you may require an operation, you may have had an operation, in which case, if either of these are the cases, please make sure that you're in prayer. You're praying for what you want. You're praying to guide the surgeon's hands as they, open you up. You're praying for every part of the surgery to go well, for the end result to be amazing. Because Spirit is talking about something about an operation. Of course, I'm not a doctor, I can't diagnose, but it is really important for you to be, visiting the doctor regularly, every 3 to 6 months, just to make sure everything is okay. Spirit is mentioning some things about a possible paralysis, some kinds of growths, ulcers, like an ulceration. Just really be in tune with your body. If something doesn't feel right, again, go visit your doctor, right? Because Spirit is mentioning the potential for, like, an explosion in the body. Um and so, it's very important for you to, you know, monitor what you eat and what you do, okay? And monitor also your temperament. Spirit is mentioning a male child who could potentially get sick, or who is sick. And Spirit is just mentioning that, okay? Make sure you get that child help. Um, um, let's see. Spirit is also talking about, you know, plans, okay? Talking about your plans, announcing your plans. Everyone is on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever platforms you're on, okay? And Spirit is saying that, it's going to be to your detriment if you're posting your every move at the precise time that you make it. Spirit is saying you have to move in silence. You're planning on opening a store, starting a business, going on a vacation. Spirit is saying you move in silence. Enjoy yourself by all means. You can take photos if you want, but post those things after you've traveled. Post them after you've closed the deal. Okay, if you really must, because Spirit is saying that it could be your downfall. By you announcing these things, you kind of deflate the energy and the momentum that it's taken to build it up. Okay, and then you allow people's energies to have an effect. Like, guys, yeah, we're in the spiritual plane, but there's an exchange of energy that happens. It's like an invisible or unspoken language that takes place between people. Okay, why do you think when you enter a room you pick up vibes? You don't even have to open up your mouth. People don't even have to open up their mouth. People that you don't even know, but you can feel it, you can sense it. Okay, and so Spirit is saying that there's an exchange of energy. Some people have a stronger um presence with those energies that exude off of them. And so Spirit is saying, just protect yourself and what you're building up. Spirit is saying that something you said to someone was not true. Okay, and that is going to cause a fight, a disagreement. you know um that person could be a little bit leery or looking at you kind of side-eyed, like, I wonder if this person is telling the truth. And Spirit is saying, just be as truthful as you possibly can. You only lie to save your life, okay? But try and live in truth, okay? Spirit is saying also at this time, do not argue over money. Do not argue over money. It's not worth you investing your energy into that at this time. Spirit is saying that, when you go out to eat, when you eat at other people's houses, say a prayer over that food, okay? Because Spirit's saying that, people can talk over the food. They can talk things into the food to give you health and wealth and give you feelings of warmth and happiness. And sometimes people can speak negative things into the food to make you sick. And so Spirit is saying, there's a potential for you to get sick. Someone doing some brujeria over the food or the drink where you don't feel well. And it could be as a result of this energy, okay? Spirit is also mentioning not only it's and I'm saying this, my head is tingling. There's a challenge with the mothering energy as well, or someone who represents a mother. And so Spirit is saying, work to resolve these issues and these energies, work to make peace with this, okay? Because in the end, you know, um, you can't have that burden on your heart and your spirit. If you do have issues with your mother and your mother is crossed over, she's an ancestor now, you can light a candle and you can, speak about it. Speak about it. Be like, look, Ma, I know you're in the spiritual plane. I was really angry with you when, you didn't believe me when I told you someone touched me inappropriately. You know, um, Something like that, okay? Like, really get it off your chest. If your mother is not around, this Spirit is saying that there's something that's lingering, that's bearing heavy on your soul. If you like this reading, please like the reading. And if you'd like a private reading, hit me at ayabaswind, WYND 999 at gmail.com. Until next time, ciao.